Every one of my records means something. The label, the producer, the year it was made.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Bad luck streak and dance in school, down on my knees in pain. Bad luck streak and dance in school.
Okay, so the Record Night podcast is back. Welcome. It's we're recording this on it's Easter weekend. It's Good Friday, so he is risen. We thought he was dead. You know who I'm talking about? Starts with a J, right? It's Jake Igluski. He's back
Hello.
from quarantine.
Everyone, it's a goddamn pleasure to be back.
Yeah, we did some episodes virtually, but I was just kind of over the whole virtual thing, man. It's just not the same with
It's not.
Having everybody in the room, you know.
You don't get the same reaction like with the music. It's
Yeah.
it's different.
And you guys know me too. Like, I'm like a fucking bass head audiophile. Like, I like all the.
Yeah.
We got these new speakers, and I've just been. I mean, I love my headphones, but I've been dying to just get back and enjoy it like in the moment with you guys. Like,
Yeah.
it's the whole vibe's just different.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point of Record Night is for us three to get together and listen to music together and react together. Not, okay, Jake, you listen to this by yourself, and then we'll listen to the, it's
Right, it's like it feels separate almost. It feels,
Yeah.
and then there's of course the syncing issues, but I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of technical problems, and
especially with the record we're going to do tonight. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to get back to it. We got a lot of good stuff ahead of us in the
Yes.
future. You got
A lot of good stuff.
We have a lot to look forward to. You guys got a lot to look forward to, and I'm just grateful to be back with you guys.
Excellent. So we had a little bit of a hiatus, like where we actually weren't doing record nights, like we just talked about, but we also listened to a lot of records that just never made it out. So let's catch up a little bit. We listened to Bob Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited.
Yep.
I had that episode done. That one got blocked by YouTube, so I could still edit that one down. But we'll just kind of reset here. We listened to the band. I'm trying to think
I
of
like that record.
Oh, one of the ones we did, but I'm going to bring it back with the group, is you weren't able to participate even virtually. Joe and I did a fun kind of like British Invasion kind of episode where I did Gloss Vegas, a band that this gentleman I talked to on Instagram,
Oh,
he
yeah.
suggested. So he hung up a British flag and drank
sick.
this Scottish beer and
Sick.
stuff. So we'll do that again. We'll do that with the whole group. You'll really, I thought that I enjoyed that record quite a bit. So I'd like to bring that one back. But before we go any further,
We also did Bob Marley.
Bob. Okay, yeah. Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Warren Zevon. What was? Is that Transverse City?
Yeah, we put
I
that one
love
out.
that one.
That was the last one Jake and I
I
listened to.
love Transverse City.
And Pearl Jam 10.
Oh yeah, we were teasing Pearl Jam forever.
The Bad Religion one is out, right? Or
Yeah.
no? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So that's it.
Okay.
The band, Bob Dylan that you said, Mac Miller. Did we ever get that one out there? Mac
No, we reviewed it. We reviewed it a little bit. I never released the whole episode, but we had an issue with that one.
We go back to.
Oh yeah,
The last part didn't get recorded or something like that. So that
Oh,
was one.
yeah.
the second half of the episode.
So yeah, but we're back now, and to mark the occasion of Jake coming back, I don't even know what this is. It was given to me, but I just had to get a little bit of the bubbly.
Whoa!
So this is just like a kind of girly, like a rosé prosecco, but it'll
It'll hit the
serve
spot,
our
I'm
purposes
sure.
here. It's
All
more
right.
just a ritual kind of thing. So
Thanks, Crooks.
we're just gonna do this.
I feel like I'm being showered with gifts. I feel so spoiled.
Well, you're back.
I am
mean,
spoiled. I am
yeah.
spoiled. Listen.
You've
If
been
there's
gone
one
for a
thing,
long time.
if there's one thing I know that's true in this life is that I have really great friends. I know that much.
Here.
So once I get my dranky poo, we'll cheers to that.
Oh, and you haven't been here since when my sister was on for the Taylor Swift episode. She gave us these custom Record Night podcast
Oh my
champagne
goodness!
glasses.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you? Those are really. It's what's it called? The not embroidered, but she uses the cricket, right? Is that how she got the thing on?
Well, I think she has like some offshoot of cricket. So here, we're gonna do this live, in
Point
front
that
of
away.
a bunch of electronic equipment and everything.
Away for the record player. Hey!
Good job, Colin.
Thank you.
That's a quality cork pop if I ever heard one.
Okay, well, it smells good. This is Italian.
I think they're all Italian.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
It's
that's not true. at all.
$14.99.
You can get good wine from California.
Yeah, like French.
You can get good wine from Ohio.
You can.
$14.99. Nothing but the best.
Hey, listen, that's what most people drink, so it's better than gas station box wine. I once bought gas station box wine and it fucked me up. It was a rough hangover.
We used
Good way to party, though.
Yeah.
we used to just take the bag right out of the box and just drink it
you
straight
ever
out of the
played
bag.
Slap in the bag?
Slap in the bag.
Come on now.
Okay, so Joe.
Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
And so here, okay, so as I pour these, Jake you brought a lot of records,
I did. I've bought a lot of records since I've been away.
and so you made it difficult on us. You brought a bunch, and so Joe and I picked. Joe and I was like between two, and I picked a separate two, and then we eventually settled on Snarky Puppy,
Yes.
which we've listened to before.
Yeah, we have.
But so yeah, what's going on with Snarky Puppy?
So, I mean, if you know anything about Snarky Puppy, like, the albums they release are, many of them anyway, like, so they have studio albums, which are, like, mixed mastered in a traditional way, but a lot of them are in these kind of, like, live settings. So they bring a bunch of people into, like, a big recording studio, and they record these records live, essentially. And this was one of those records. And the first song I heard about this record was a song called Lingus, which is actually an excellent track to end the record off.
Like
but
Conolingus.
hey, maybe so. But
Nothing wrong with that.
it got like a lot of reaction videos on YouTube.
Yeah, I wonder why.
because what were people searching for?
Right.
Right.
On YouTube. But it just the musicians in this band. I mean, we listened to this is a jazz fusion band for anyone who doesn't know, and we've listened to their other Family Dinner Volume 2, which I think is or Volume 1, which is the last one we listened to. They kind of have this jazz and fusion, and it almost seems like they choose different genres for each album. So, for example, Volume 2, Family Dinner Volume 2 is like a more modern electronic style mixed with jazz. Then you have Volume 1, which we listened to, which was like a soul R&B type album mixed with jazz. And then we have this one, and it's kind of this is like a rock and roll almost jazz fusion type record. It sounds weird to say at first, but some of the music kind of reminds me of like if you're in like a Sonic the Hedgehog start menu.
Cool.
If that makes sense. But like some of the stuff for like Sega Genesis or like N64. But the backstory behind this album is kind of crazy. So I guess they were rehearsing this album for a couple days, and like something happened to their drummer. Like their drummer got sick or had to go away for some reason. So they had to fly in a drummer that is also well known on YouTube, Larnell Lewis. Mm-hmm. They had to fly him in, and he had to learn all these songs that they were going to play live, okay, in a live setting. I think it was like a 4-hour flight, and he had 4 hours to learn every single song on this album. Listen to it on his headphones and write in his head what he was going to play to this music. And the musicianship in this album, what I'm trying to say, is just off the chain. And especially the drumming, I think, keyboards, bass, everything is just on point. And then another aspect of this album is its mixing, and we'll talk about that later. I don't want to reveal too much, but just the way this was mixed from a live setting to like an LP, was just masterful. And you guys, I feel like you guys will hear it. It'll be apparent when we listen to it. But it's something I've been dying to get to. I was looking on their website for 3 months. It was out of stock for 3 months, and I finally got it. And then I wasn't able to show up in person, and we kind of had our hiatus. So this has been one that's kind of been on my conscience for a long time, and I'm happy I finally get to share it with you guys.
Well, why don't you hand it over the actual record here so we can take a look at it.
Go ahead, Joe.
And as far as the character, learning the songs real quick, I just feel like these jazz people aren't messing around. They're pretty smart. You know
But
what
this
I mean?
dude,
Right, so
this dude, he does these YouTube videos where they give him a song that he's never heard before, like a Tool song, and he'll listen to it one time through, and he'll be like, "Oh, that's cool. They're doing this with the hi hat and whatever." He'll memorize it all and then replay it. Like the dude's a genius. Like he's insane.
Well,
his memory is insane.
yeah, well, and we live in an age now where you can listen to music all the time, but that's when I was watching probably a Bob Dylan document or something, he you kind of had to memorize songs because you'd pay to go into this listening room and you'd listen to a record, and so he'd listen to it, he'd just have to memorize it because he can't really listen to it again, so.
What is this before records or something? He couldn't buy the record?
Well, no, I think you could buy the record, but it was just yeah, I don't know, they would just have a listening booth so you could go instead of buying the record, and you just go in and
like a Nickelodeon. You know what a Nickelodeon was?
Not besides the kids channel.
No, well, originally a Nickelodeon was you would put a nickel in a slot with a little screen, and it would show you a little cartoon.
Oh,
Or a
okay.
nickel.
Learn something every day.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Did you also know Nickelodeon was first broadcasted in Columbus, Ohio?
No.
It was a local channel down there. Could you imagine being a kid growing up in Columbus, Ohio, back in the 80s, early 90s, and you had those sweet cartoons? No one else would see them. I mean, it was different back then. It was different pre-90s, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's hilarious. I had no idea about that.
first 3 Nickelodeon cartoons were Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, Ren.
Wow.
Oh, Stimpy, you idiot. Okay, so as far as Snarky Puppy, this is the record. It's called We Like It Here. And when is this record from? Do you know, Jake?
I have no idea.
What's
Should be on the back bottom.
Oh, and so Lingus, the song you mentioned, that's the last
Yeah, that's
song.
that's
That's
the
just,
ultimate song.
Is that your favorite song on the thing, or no? Or do you
I'd say the second song is my favorite.
What
It
about
gives me goosebumps.
What About Me?
Yep. What about me?
So this was recorded in 2013. It was recorded between Monday, October 7th, and Thursday, October 10th, 2013.
Wow, they're getting real specific with the. dates.
Recorded and filmed live in the Netherlands.
Yeah. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, just to kind of summarize the liner notes, basically he's talking about is these guys didn't have, when they recorded this is like I told you, this was sold out for months. I could not get this album, and I was literally looking every day, scouring Reddit, and finally one day the guy was like, "Hey, we should have these back in stock this day." So it's in high demand. When these guys made this record, basically the liner notes summarize how these guys weren't popular. They weren't making a lot of money. They didn't know if this was something that
Would even.
it's
sell.
crazy because when you hear this music, you're gonna be like, how do these guys at least not have a jazz following that can sustain them in the United States? But they were way more popular overseas at this point than they were here. And if I told you, I saw this on a YouTube reaction video, and all these reaction videos to these songs on this record are from 2017 forward. So even the record didn't become popular until later. But just it's so weird for musicians of this caliber. Like I told you, these guys are working with David Crosby now.
Yeah.
That's the other record. That's through this ground up music.
That's the
this
connection.
record label.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to me that it's something so. I mean, I guess it's not, because this is what, especially as people who love music and underground music and are kind of record. I don't want to call us connoisseurs. That sounds lame. But people who appreciate music, it's just so weird how stuff can
Slip through the cracks.
slip exactly slip through the cracks.
A lot of good stuff. A lot of stuff you'll never even hear ever. That's like,
It just makes you wonder what's out there that
and then you turn on the radio and you hear a lot of shit, and you got a lot of this good music that's just laying in the shadows and no one ever knows about it. Chris Stapleton's a good example.
Yeah, he was
Like,
just a songwriter.
he was a
for the longest time.
songwriter, and then he opens his mouth, and they're like, "Well, dude, where have you been? Like,
Yeah.
why weren't you singing this whole time?" Like,
Right.
Yeah. Because he thought he wouldn't have an audience. John Denver also was a songwriter, and he started singing. He didn't think he would have an audience. He thought that no one would want to hear him sing. It was like,
It's
you're
just weird.
freaking-
You
you're
think about
John Denver.
And I want to give a thank you to Colin. I acquired a Sturgill Simpson Cutting Grass Volume 1. Another example of one of those
Another
artists
example. I was just gonna bring them up. Yeah.
that you don't. It's like why isn't this person more popular sometimes? You know what I mean? It's like
Well, good example of a guy who got a late start too. Like he
Yeah.
had a big boy job, like was in his 30s, like, and then decided to sell all his shit and move to Nashville, to pursue it. Like. So.
can you imagine doing that? Like just betting everything.
Well, but we also
That late in your life, yeah.
Well, but we also talked about it. I mean, Sturgill is he's the only artist ever to be nominated for a Grammy in 2 separate categories: Best Country Album and Best Rock
Did he
Album.
win any? He
No.
won one for
He did win Best Country Album.
for Sailor's Guide.
Yeah, but
Which isn't really a country album, but
right.
whatever.
It's not. But Best Rock, he did not win Best Rock Album. The Strokes, I believe.
Yeah,
Whatever
did they
record
end up
they
winning?
had, yeah.
That was a good. I mean, that's who I thought was gonna win, and
Yeah.
it was good. That was a good album.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But anyway. Okay. So Snarky Puppy. So we basically our jazz history is well documented. It's been more jazz fusion, but we
Yeah.
started with Bela Fleck and the live situation, which that was also that was one of my favorites. Remember that guy that they were playing the banjo together? Like
Oh
the
yeah,
one
he
guy
brought out
behind,
brought out like his ethnic version of the banjo, like
And
his
then
regional banjo.
And then the one guy came out and was like, "Hey, you can't do that here." Well, they
oh, you're talking about the two they were playing
little,
at the same time.
the
Yeah.
little skit that they did. Like,
Yeah.
ugh,
Yeah.
no way.
I mean, it was the '90s.
I guess.
It was the '90s.
I guess.
All right. What do you think? Should we fire this up? And hey, this will be the first time you're hearing the new sound system here.
Oh yeah.
For a record. So
Oh really?
Oh yeah. You got the whole
Yeah,
the tube
yeah, you-
set up with the
I
speakers.
thought I heard it once before.
I mean, you came to like help me hook it up, and we tested it then like with the phone,
Oh,
but
like
we
for
never
an
listened to a
actual
record.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
And you picked a good record for.
Oh shit! I'm excited. Well, I already was excited, and that's another thing I neglected to mention. And I'm glad you brought it up. Is like this record, just the way I said, the way it's mixed, is like it's fucking amazing, fucking amazing. So
Okay.
I'm excited.
well, I guess let's get it started then. So side A has 2 songs on it. They're both about 6 minutes in length, and the first one is called Shofukan.
Yes, I
If I'm
assume.
Yeah. Shofukan and What About Me is side A. So let's get it going. Let's you were comparing them to this jazz fusion. You were bringing up Van Halen a lot. You kept saying they got
You know what's funny? Now that I was thinking about why I made that reference. So the guy who has a solo in one of these songs, he's wearing a Van Halen shirt. Now that I think about the live, because
That's
if you go
funny.
on YouTube, you can find
yeah.
this is a live
It
album
says it
that
was filmed,
recorded.
yeah,
And
right.
also the film, for any of those of you, our listeners who are interested, all these songs you can watch on YouTube. You can watch these guys do it live. So
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. But it's just it's an amazing watch. It's an amazing listen, and I'm excited, man.
Okay. Let's get it going, and we'll see what we think.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'll start off with that, like I said, that film score kind of thing, just prepping you, and then we'll get into writing some crazy shit.
Does it give a list of the instruments that are
Oh
being
god,
played?
a lot of
it's
people.
like a 70, it's like a 40-piece band.
And there's no lyrics, you said, right?
No. Pump it up a little bit. See, it's that Miles Davis shit.
I like the drum.
The little slap. This is what I felt like you guys were imagining when I
Yes.
first said I was going to bring a jazz record.
Yeah, exactly.
This also has drums, which were being traditionally played. I know there were drums on the Tripnotic.
This has drums.
He's playing the actual drums, not just the cymbals.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Synth bass.
wait a minute.
Jesus. Is this like the Sega Genesis music you're talking about?
Kind of, yeah.
It's like the boss battle.
Yes.
That's a cool instrument, the synth bass.
He's going to give you a little taste, Joe. Oh, just a little taste to see what it tastes like. For this song, you should pump it as loud as the speakers will possibly. Louder.
Turn up a little bit anyway, I think.
There we go. Yes. As soon as I can feel the kick drum in my balls.
What'd you say, you want to kick in the balls?
Ooh.
You gotta hang in there, Joe. Just hang in there for me.
It's fine.
Yeah.
This part, I'm talking about the part that's coming up.
Oh.
Get low on that neck.
I see what you're saying about the mixing,
Yep.
all the layers.
Yes.
Yeah, these guys are tight, man. When you have this many musicians involved in an operation, it seems like you'd stand out if you're not, in sync with the group.
I wonder how they structure a song, or is it more just like free form, and just you play your part, whatever you bring to the table is what you bring to the table, and then we'll put it all together, and then we'll just release it as a song, or do they come into it with a plan?
I mean, I think that like the song still has like a fundamental structure such that like you could play it on like just a guy could play it on an acoustic guitar, and it would he would obviously it'd be missing a lot of elements, but it would still
Yes.
so you'd still have that bare bone structure, and then like
You could build around it.
yeah, so then you can get a little bit more creative, I think, with what you're doing, like as an individual player, and you might know more about that. Jake too, slapping the bass. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of players on this record. So I was saying like they're tight, and like.
Yeah. Well, they have to think about each other too. I think. You gotta like the drummer talks about how he has to like leave room
Oh yeah.
because he knows that like if he goes like he has his parts, but like in the rest of the song, I mean, you heard those like the other drummer playing like there's a guy in the what do you call it, like the tablas. There's a guy they have kind of like on Bela Fleck. Like you have to leave room in your own percussion part for those guys. So I'd hate to be the bass player for this band. I'm sorry, like because he's the backbone of all of it. Their bass player.
Yeah, is it? So with this group, it'd be a regular like a regular bass, or a regular bass player. I feel like in some jazz, it might be like an
upright.
upright bass, you
yeah,
know. But
yeah, for him, he's doing regular.
which it's funny. Joel King, who plays bass for the Wild Feathers, was saying he tried. He like in high school, he was like briefly in a jazz band and had to play upright bass, and he's like, it's not the same. He had a difficult time. He said playing the upright bass.
Yeah, it's hard. Well, you have no frets,
Oh wow. Oh,
so
dang.
you have to memorize. I mean, you have to, and it's different too because like with there's room for error with a regular bass, right? You can press, unless you're in the middle of the fret, you can press generally any way from the halfway point of the fret to the actual fret itself.
I see. Yeah.
And the note will ring out but you'll be off key. It'll sound a little off. Sometimes that's what gives the music a bright bass its character, is that it's not perfect.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they have
we talk
that's
about that a lot.
a lot of the reason why they do that. That they stretch the string because if they hit the note wrong, at least one part in the stretch will be the right note. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it'll be in the right spot at least some of the time.
All right, let's keep it going. Being this is double LP, we'll burn through this other side here. And then...
Okie doke.
What instrument?
Shoulders.
What
When
instrument
shoulders?
is that?
This is a keyboard.
Oh, I hear it. Okay, yeah.
And he's got the.
With
He's got the.
Oh
Yeah,
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 Joe
yeah,
Walsh,
yeah.
Rocky Mountain Way.
He's like Herbie Hancock on the.
Oh!
Whoa!
Wow!
Oh, dude, I want to get hit with a tube and throat singer right now.
Yeah, that'd be a good addition.
Oh.
Little organ. Take us to church. Yeah, tablas. They add so much.
Okay, so we just got done with what's the name of the record again? We Like It Here.
We Like It Here by Snarky Puppy.
We finished the first side. It was fast.
Yeah.
is the word I
Fast paced.
kind of had in mind. But what do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I'm more curious what you guys think. I know what I think. I mean, I love the record, but I mean, the last song, I understand what he's about fast because especially that last one with like the clip clap.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're on a horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, drums. I feel like you mentioned the drums.
Yeah, they're kind of
ahead of
ridiculous.
time, yeah.
Is that like their version of Fastest Horse in Town?
Yeah. This is version 2.
Yeah, I liked Sleepers a lot. I thought that was, or is it Sleeper or Sleepers?
Sleeper, yeah, I think.
Okay, Sleeper. That was cool. But like you said, the first track kind of eases you into it, and then the second track was the one you like.
Yeah.
And that really kind of shows what they could do. I like when they had the bass, the electric bass or the synth bass.
The synth bass, yeah.
That was cool.
It's a cool, and the bass player actually also plays a synth bass, so he'll kind of set his bass guitar down on the stand, and then he moves to the keyboard where the synth bass is. So I thought he's the one who composes all the music. I think.
And then,
okay, there you go.
And then Sleepers came on, and that was like I felt like all the instruments worked so well together in that song. And was that the song that I noted the mix? I think I noted the mixing a few times. Mm-hmm. The way it's mixed, the way the layers come in. When you got all these list of instruments, you got to, as a producer, you got to find a way. How am I going to layer these so it makes sense to the listener?
And also they're not missing anything, right? Because it's so much. It's like, how do you include them all?
Especially like bass players. Like bass players, sometimes they get so left behind, you don't even hear them.
Justice for Jason.
Metallica.
You know?
Exactly. Yep. So, and then the last song was called
Jambone.
Jambone.
Right?
That was okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was my least favorite of the four. Was the last song.
Yeah, I kind of felt like you guys those are my thoughts exactly, basically. I Sleeper kind of ironically, I felt like it woke you up a bit.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but what about me? You were all excited about
I
that
love
song.
that song. I don't know whether it's because of the positioning in the album. Like, I feel like if What About Me was placed more in the middle, I think it would have got it better. I also turned up the bass knob and the volume while you guys weren't looking.
No,
So I wonder if that had.
Okay, I was definitely looking when you did that.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. That's my personal favorite. I just love What About Me. I love the drum solo at the end.
Yeah. The drumming throughout has been outstanding.
Yeah. And you're gonna hear more. You're gonna hear more. He's so like front and center. He's definitely like he gets a lot of applause from the audience. Like if you look at they're all when he does a drum thing or any cool drum thing, like all the audience. Is
Okay,
like,
so I was confused about the clapping because didn't you say it was performed in a studio, but that doesn't mean
the clapping was probably from an instrument, so it was probably like a MIDI, like a.
No.
People
Like
at
the
end
applause.
clapping.
Oh
The
yeah,
applause.
no. So they're in a studio. It's hard to explain. They're in a huge. Think about like the room that we used to go through for like choir in high school.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's an audience in the room too.
In the room while they're
Oh.
recording, and they all have headphones on, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen live albums like that.
How big is his audience?
Small.
25,
Oh, okay.
30 people.
So like Friends.
Yeah, people who somehow got like like a
Okay.
ticket.
I'm thinking there's like this room, and then off to the side there's like
No. That's how they
100 people. Or
That's how they
something,
can mix it so
so
well.
they could get a applause.
That's
Right.
why. Yeah.
You know?
No, that's why the
It's like-
album
It's
is
like
mixed
you're doing too much. You're bringing in too many people.
They
Yeah.
just like built a studio on a stage in front of a
Yeah.
bunch of fucking people.
It's like a play.
No, they're
going on in
in
front of
a very large recording room in very close proximity. It's kind of cramped. They got
gotcha.
everyone. It almost it looks like when you go to a high school choir
Well-
show. The way they have that set up, everyone's in a chair.
Well, and like you said, you can watch this on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to see it. I'll have to see the visual of it. But if you, I was thinking more people. I was thinking more people in the crowd.
No, 30, 40 at
Okay.
most.
I got you.
okay, so let's keep it rolling. Side C is Kite, Outlier, and Tio Mikado. I want to get through these songs. I hope they're good, but I'm really looking forward to Lingus on side D.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Wow, this is different.
Yep. The strings come in this one.
Symphonic. Whatever.
There is a string section.
Oh yeah.
I love that instrument, whatever that is. It's a saxophone with some kind of like attachment.
That I think you can go. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah. Kind of getting like a salsa.
This reminds me a lot of like the first album you brought.
Yeah.
The other songs before that didn't remind me of the first album.
It's always cool to transition back into the original part. It's almost like you're not expecting how are they going to connect it to the original melody? You know what I mean?
I was just thinking, Tripnotics with this drummer would be so much better. I think I could listen to it then. That was the missing piece. It's like lounge music.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. Yo, that was cool. But you hear how the sound was coming from like the back and it was coming in
Yeah,
from
like
the
you
front.
can hear like the reverb from the piano.
No, like just the way they were laying again with the mixing, like layering of the sounds. Like, can you hear that like on the headphones real well? Like
Oh my god, in
it'll
headphones.
sound like it's coming from behind you, and then it sounds like it comes. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah, the sound stage.
moving. But yeah, exactly the sound.
This is a cool song too. I forgot about this one.
Outlier.
Yeah, Outlier's a really good one. More of that keyboard.
Jake's, you're off screen. You're off screen on the rocks. Trying to catch it. I want it. Or reeling it in. That's him doing all that? The drummer doing all that?
Yeah.
He's nuts.
Oh, baby.
This is video game music. Well, this isn't. Like, that had an accent. But, oops, it is live.
Dude, that drummer went crazy.
I know, he's insane.
Wow.
And back to this beginning part.
It is like a boss fight, Joe. It is like a boss fight.
An intense boss fight. Jake and his narrow urethra. Is this a whole other song?
Yeah, that was Outlier. This is To Mikado.
Oh, there goes Jake. A conga line comes out of the bathroom.
That's been a big theme on the record. It's like a salsa kind of. Like,
Yeah.
Bonus track. Maybe it's like their version of like all the hard work is done because this is the last song.
It's one of them, yeah.
Oh, Lingus is the last one. But it sounds like a celebration compared to other songs. It's like we did it. We came together. We did this thing, and now we're gonna just like have fun and
It
celebrate.
also shows off the different parts of the bands too. It's meant to split up the different sections of the band, I think.
oh,
like you'll
nice.
hear.
Like shout out this guy,
Yeah.
shout out that guy.
All the different trumpeters do a solo right here. Tabla guys. It's like 3 of them, and they've got all these like weird instruments.
I can just picture that 3 dudes.
They're
just
like
going
turning
nuts.
the handle. I just keep imagining a conga line.
I believe that's in its side.
Oh, we got one more.
Yeah, Lingus.
Oh God. So, I'll forewarn you. This is considered by many the best song of the album. Also, it plays with keys like their drummer plays with time. So, you know what's... Okay, let me just make a comment because I think it was funny. You guys don't like saxophone very much, do you?
The jazz sax.
You're not a fan. I think it's the
Bothers me.
instrument.
Definitely-
It's
definitely.
the instrument.
I'm a huge fan of like Clarence Clemens
Okay.
playing with Bruce Springsteen, so it's not the saxophone necessarily. And who else? I feel like Michael Stanley.
Wasn't that dude in I'm probably totally wrong. The dude in Jethro Tull, they played some type of wind instrument or something.
I'm not familiar with Jethro Tull
Okay.
enough to say, but yeah, I've definitely heard saxophone in another context, and I enjoy it. It's the jazz sax.
It's
man.
jazz sax.
But Joe pretty much echoed my comments exactly while you were in the bathroom. Like it wasn't the same as Tripnotics because like there was still, like Joe said, there was still enough. This was so layered. Like there was enough going on that made sense.
There was those 3 guys going. They were doing it all together. They were all in sync, like together. It was the drummer, the synth bass, and one other instrument that I can't think of.
I don't know. But yeah, the jazz sax was, to me, he was walking a fine line. It was like,
It's funny too because in the song, I heard you in the bathroom, so I was in the bathroom and I heard him like, Oh yeah, the part where the sax came, I was like, "Meh," like I heard you like commentating on it, and it was funny because at that point, like in the song where you guys were saying that, like he actually loses his headphones, so he's doing like a part, and they're all wearing headphones, and his headphones fly off, so he's like waiting, like he stops, and like he's waiting, and like one of the like people has to like help him get his headphones back on. It was hilarious. So I was like, that's funny how like in that same commentary came like around that same time. I don't think it has anything to do with it, but I thought it was funny.
Well, okay, so basically, what we're talking about, what song was that? Was it Outlier? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because Kite had the piano.
Yeah, Kite
That
was the
piano
slow
was
one.
excellent, man.
Yeah, the classic jazz piano.
Yeah, that was so
Yeah,
good.
that was nice.
It kind of came out of nowhere. Like it was late in the song, I feel like.
Yep, it was like towards the end.
And I like it how they added that, like, because that was the first appearance of that type of piano, right?
Yep.
I like
I
how
thought so, yeah.
they introduced that later in the album. Not like
The roots
they
section
could
of the
have
music.
introduced it in the second song if they wanted to,
Right.
but they didn't. They saved it.
Right.
That was nice.
Okay, so then Outlier had the jazz sax, which we were talking about, and then Tio Mikado.
That was the horn sections, the stars of the show.
Okay, and that had the trumpet was again walking a fine line. Where
There were many of them. There was like 3 or 4 trumpeters.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And
It was
that's
a
what they
lot.
were doing. They were going, like it was basically showing off, giving each of the trumpeters a solo, basically, and the sax players.
Well, here was my thought when I was listening to it. Like to me, it's like a hard wave to catch. Like sometimes I would catch it, and it would be so cool. Like I was really vibing and enjoying it. But then, like, if I don't catch it, it's just like noisy and bothersome, and I don't get it.
You can either catch the big surf wave or get pummeled by the big surf
Yeah.
wave. That really is how jazz
like that's
music
a good
is.
comparison.
That's a lot of time, especially like we were talking about Hypnotics. Like it took me a lot of listens to like that record for that same reason. Like there's just parts I can't catch the vibe, but if you can catch it, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
Damn.
Right.
It takes so much more effort to,
Yes.
to
Yes.
listen to jazz.
It's a much different listening experience. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I would have just ran away and listened to something else. Like, I wouldn't
You're
have
not
gave it
wrong for it.
a second listen or a third listen.
But that's it. It's just a different. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
But it's so
just a
funny
different
with,
thing.
with a movie. Maybe let's say someone recommends you a movie. It's like it's a great movie, blah blah, and you watch it. It's like it's not that great. I would more likely watch it again, a not great movie again, than listen to like a song I didn't like twice.
Right.
Yeah. I guess it depends on. Yeah. If it leaves you wanting to listen to it again versus like,
Right.
nah, that was.
I feel like I make my in music. I feel like my opinion is my opinion, and it's like
That's what it is.
it's very strong. You know, if I don't like something, I don't like something. If I like something, I like something. And
Yeah.
if I don't like it, then I can listen to something else.
Right. Sure. But there's so much to listen to.
So
too,
much.
You know.
I will say like it says a lot that you're like it says a lot if in jazz music you can fall off a wave and then recatch it. Because it means that the musicians were tasteful enough to give you something.
Yes.
Like one part I think
To
you'll
hold on to,
recognize is that like in the jazz part, like there's this part where there's like there's 2 dissonant notes that overlap. It's like and like the other like he's playing like a semitone below, and it's like this weird like dissonant note, and I could tell you were trying to like hang on, and then all of a sudden you get this and like okay, that part is like something you'd hear, like it's recognizable almost. It's like they give you that crazy.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're talking
It's
about.
like they give you that crazy like I'm doing my own thing vibe, but then right like before they lose you, they transition into that part you can latch onto, and all of a sudden like it's almost like post, what's the word I'm looking for? Like in hindsight, what they played makes sense, if that makes sense. The transition makes sense once it's given some context after it's played, which is weird.
Does that make sense?
I think it does.
There was 2 parts, and I don't know which song because they all kind of blend in. They sounded like they pulled them like straight from like a movie or like a television show.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
The-
I was saying
the
like
familiar-
what's the word I used?
The familiarity.
Not scripting. What's the word I used?
Just now, like.
No, like I used it in the beginning. There's a lot of that type of music, like
Score.
yeah, score.
Yeah.
Like film score is what I would call
But
it.
then there was other ones that they like created that I've never heard that you could literally cut and paste into a movie somewhere, you know, and it would fit perfectly. I wonder if they've done any like soundtracks or anything.
I
mean, probably individual people probably did,
I
but them
actually
as a
do
collective.
think like a lot of the musicians like have like made music for movies and stuff. A lot of them
it's a good way to
individually.
it's a
Makes
good way to
sense.
make money.
Makes sense. Okay. We've got one song left, and it's Lingus.
Oh God, yes.
I'm excited. I think I still need to flip it. We'll find out.
I think you do. Also, what you're hearing is 3 guitarists playing the same note at the same time. That's how on time they are.
So you said this is like considered their best.
Yeah, this is like their most reviewed song on YouTube.
They brought the guitar back.
Yeah. Have fun, boys. He's got 2 keyboards. You like this? It's like yes. The crowd was pleased with this one.
Oh, that'd be a trip, dude. Like in the environment.
Being
they were
there.
in. Yeah, right. Like being there.
It's funny that whenever like Larnell Lewis is going off, you can see all the people's like heads just like the whole crowd's like turned just to him. Even the musicians, like a lot of times the strings weren't playing, we're looking at like Larnell Lewis playing. Like he learned this in 4 hours.
Oh, no. Wow, on the drums.
Shout out to him.
Wow. Well, my thought right away is like it definitely takes more effort to listen to, but like as a result, the reward is that much like greater. Wouldn't you say?
Especially when they
That's a
bring
good
you
point.
when they bring you to a pinnacle like that. I think that's something that helps jazz is when they build you up to a like. My heart was racing by the end of that last song. Like, dum, 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 dum. Like how could you
Yeah.
possibly build the song any more than you've built it? It's like what more could
they
they add?
build it? That's the good way of saying it. Like that last song was so well put together, like with the way. Just the
It's
way
almost
they
like a
introduced
battle.
different instruments. Yeah,
Like
it
a
was
horn
really
and
well put
keyboard
together.
battle almost.
They force you to listen. Not forced in a bad way, but you have to be a willing participant.
Yes.
It's a good point.
You know, and you gotta like pick out.
You'll miss
you
out
gotta-
if you're not actively listening.
Exactly. And from that you could take instruments and you could pull them apart. Like I'm just gonna listen to like with that one song. Like we decided we're just gonna listen to the drums and
Right.
the synth bass, and we'll just forget about the trumpet.
So I'm really curious about your guys' thoughts about the because I thought that was almost like the most jazz part about this record was the beginning of that keyboard solo, where he's like.
What song? This last song?
This song, and then all of a sudden he goes. Like it's almost like you're happy, and all of a sudden you're like,
Oh.
Like, it's like, what are you doing to my feelings? Stop it!
Once you said that, I noticed like, oh yeah, it does go like a roller coaster, like up and down.
Well, but he got you on the wave, right? At first, it was like inviting, and like it sounded pleasant, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, like, like wow,
Right.
I almost felt like the drums got so crazy. It almost felt like to me that that game where like like there's an object and they put a hat over it and then they start switching on the hats. Like, that's how it felt. I was trying to hold on to like the beat.
You'll never
I can
find it.
find it. He do like a couple off time symbols like
Yeah.
like he's trying to throw you off.
Right,
It's like this is on time, but is it? Yeah, man. Jazz is fun. I think it's fun.
That was definitely enjoyable. There was so much going on there. There was
Such a huge band for crying out loud.
it was hard to not be able to grab onto something
Something.
during each song for sure. There was only a few times. To me, like, okay, well, first of all, they brought the guitar back, like, in that last song.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was hoping for it the whole time. Like, when I was having, like, the jazz sax and the trumpets, and I was like, oh,
Come on, guitar.
Give me a guitar. Yeah, my comparison is like when that one wrestling where Stone Cold comes out and like it was totally unexpected and the crowd just goes fucking crazy. You know, it's like that's how the guitar felt for me. Like, yes,
Right.
like, it's back.
I love all the guitar songs are my favorite songs on this record. The songs that feature the guitarists. And the weird part is, all those parts where you hear them, it sounds like one guitarist. Those are three guitarists playing at the same time most of the time, whose timing is so
Yeah,
good,
I
you
saw
can't
it.
even
I read
tell
that.
that it's three guitarists because they play the note so well at the exact same time. Not
Yeah,
in the
yeah, you
solo,
said
not in the
that.
solos, but in the other parts. Most of the other parts, like
Yeah.
what was the one? Was it? I think it was the beginning of this song that it's just like I don't remember what song it was, but like it might have been an earlier song, but they're playing it sounds like one guitar, but it's like no, that's three guitars. So
Yeah.
be it.
Yeah, Bob Lanzetti, Mark Lettieri, and Chris McQueen.
That's a
All
guitar
electric
name.
guitar.
Chris McQueen is a guitar name. It's like you were born to play the guitar, Chris McQueen. But yeah, I love that's such. I have fun. Like, it's not even like I'm like, oh, he's so good. Like this guy is so good. I feel like I have a lot of fun listening to that record.
Yeah.
Because especially like in the salsa part, that like makes you want to move.
There's some records that just like, we want to force you to let basically the album is saying we want to let you know that we're good, like
Right.
we're talented,
Right.
so we're gonna show off.
Right.
But this, like you said, they're having, you could just tell they're having fun with it, especially like in that the second to last song, where everyone got the shout out kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
They're just having fun.
So, who is Snarky Puppy? Like, is Snarky Puppy, is there like a core group? Because like the last record we heard, there was like a female vocalist that was featured, and
So that was Layla Hathaway. That was Donny Hathaway's daughter.
Right, but didn't you say that
They
there was like a compilation album? Kind
Yeah,
of?
those are like collaboration albums. So
collaboration.
those albums, Volume 1 and 2, are Family Dinner, and the idea behind Family Dinner is they collaborate.
with other artists and
And
stuff.
that's where you get.
I see.
They have a song off of like one of the David Crosby
and
albums
it's like,
on there.
and those songs are on their albums.
okay.
Yeah, but it's a live, much like this one. It's another one of those live rendition things where like they came out and invited people to watch the show.
Like, can you play that song that we did for you,
Right.
for us on our album?
Right.
Because we played it for you on your
Right.
album.
And so you get the whole jazz version of one of those songs
Oh, because those songs are different
on the actual album.
because it's
yep.
live and
And it's like that song with a 40-piece jazz band basically
Right.
recreated.
that's got to be cool for the artist.
Really cool. I love David Crosby has one called "Somebody Home," and it's just like such a good.
Maybe
We got to get to that.
Maybe that will be the next one.
Maybe so.
That was one of the ones you brought, and
Well, I didn't actually bring that one, so I have two David Crosby records.
Oh, okay.
That's not on that one with the lighthouse.
No,
Oh,
that
shit.
one's on Sky Trails. So
well, you brought that David Crosby record. I of course have Deja Vu. I bought a copy of Deja Vu on vinyl, legendary record. They're coming out with like an expanded edition of it coming
Yeah.
up here in May. So
You texted me some date. You were like, May,
Yeah.
whatever, the day for the Wild Feathers concert. You
Yeah.
texted me, but you didn't say
I
anything.
just texted the
You
date.
just left it
that
blank.
was it.
So I went on Google and I looked up the date and I looked at the news and I saw that thing. So that's when I sent it to you. I'm like, is this what you're talking about? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Did,
funny.
did
you
you
said
even
that.
know about that?
No,
Oh.
no, I didn't. I said, hey, that's cool, but anyway, like that.
Yeah,
you
but-
threw me off. But no, yeah,
But it's this.
it's funny that's happening on the same day because they just came out. The Wild Feathers, who they're gonna play in Columbus, and we're going to see them. The Record Night podcast goes on the road again.
Hells to the yells.
And we saw the Wild Feathers last time, but they
that was such a good show. Oh my god, that was such a good show.
Yeah, dude, it'll be so cool, especially because they haven't been able to play like shows. In
Hopefully,
a long
their
time,
energy
and-
is like pent up, and they're
What-
just waiting to release it on some
It will,
unsuspecting
yeah.
crowd.
What day is that again?
Oh wait, Friday, May 14th. I think we'll just go there and come back. But anyway, we can figure all that out. I think this album was recorded live, and I'm interested to watch some of this on YouTube. Like you said, it's all on. A lot of the parts I felt like a visual would have added to it, like drum solos and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it does. And the camera work, like it's actually a good visual production too. Like whoever the fucking cameraman was like
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, and so that was recorded live. There's another live album that I want to get to. Which was a suggestion. The Teskey Brothers, an album they recorded live, like right to tape. So there's a cool YouTube video how they recorded that. But I want to get to that one. But I think Sturgill Simpson is in our future.
Oh shit.
Come on.
Let's
I mean,
go.
the Cutting Grass Volume 2 just came out. I feel like
let's
it's
go.
time to.
Let's
I
go.
feel like it's time to hit those two.
Oh my god.
Because I'm gonna get.
Okay.
I'm gonna we were talking about it before we started recording the podcast, but they're coming in the mail. I mean, it just came out. You guys just picked up Volume 2 today, right? Like,
Yep.
Today, so I got both Volume 1 and Volume 2, and Jake's got both Volume 1 and Volume 2.
I'm a lucky
All of a
man. I
sudden,
got good
yeah.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your buddy Max hooked you up with Volume 2, and then your buddy kind of hooked
Crooksy.
you up with Volume 1.
Got volume 1 rolling.
Yeah. Volume 1 might be contingent upon me receiving mine, and then I'll give you.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, you haven't got it yet?
It's coming. It's in the mail. I should have
It's
it
like
soon.
terribly warped. It's like, oh nope, no
I-
Indian giving.
I'm getting it
No
shipped
kickbacks.
from within the state, and they usually come quick and
Well,
From,
if your record is terribly
Loveland,
warped,
Ohio.
if your record is terribly warped, I'll be happy to return the original
It
copy.
shouldn't be.
So
You've never had a problem with that before.
No, I know. Plaid Room Records.
Oh,
I've
Plaid
got-
Room.
I've gotten
Yeah,
a lot of
they're
records
great.
from them.
Come on now.
I'm a big fan.
big
So
shout out.
yeah. But that's all for now. I guess we'll figure it out when we get there.
That's where I got Tripnotics, I think.
But Plaid Room Records?
I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yep,
I didn't know you ever bought a record from them.
I think so. I think I got Tripnotics off of Discogs, and Plaid Room Records is a seller on Discogs.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Well, on that note, this has been the Record Night Podcast. Thank you for joining. It's good to be back.
Yeah,
good
it
to be
really
back.
is. I'm happy to be here.
All right.
Happy
So,
we're all together again.
all right.
Time
Well,
to end the podcast.
yeah, and we'll be back.
All right, later, guys.